Good morning once again. Thank you for staying with us. It's time now for the AM News. In our first story, campaign team of Alan Chemating is alleging that Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is using government's institutions to induce and threaten delegates. According to them, despite claims by President Akufo-Addo that he was not supporting any aspirant, their observations pointed to the contrary. Spokesperson for the Alan Chemating team, Bawumia Samwa, cites the OT region, where some district assemblies are reportedly using the District Assembly Common Fund to purchase and distribute weedicides to induce the delegates to support the Vice President. He spoke to Samuel Mbura of our political desk.
The establishment is not working. Establishment, which includes the President and others, are demonstrating otherwise. The Finance Minister chats and says that he is going to spend all the money he can to make sure that somebody wins.
Who is that somebody?
That somebody is the establishment candidate. That somebody is number two.
Candidate?
That somebody is the Vice President. I mean, we are all aware that he is the establishment candidate because the establishment is behind him. And the President says he is not behind him. So it's a signal that I think that the party must pick up. If the President says that he is not behind anybody, then the party delegates must stand up. The party delegates must resist any attempt from.
How do you want them to do this? How do you want the party or the delegates to do this?
By rejecting some of the inducements and the threats.
What
For example, the Assembly's Common Fund.
I see.
We were in OT, and this Assembly's Common Fund was sharing weedicides and fertilizers at this time to people. Why would they be doing?
Were they sharing to delegates?
Sharing to delegates.
Those who be taking part in the Super Delegates Congress?
Sharing to delegates.
And you have evidence?
We were there when it happened. We arrived immediately after the sharing. So you had delegates with boxes, some of them carrying it home, some of it with them right in the room where we were having the meeting. You understand? We saw it. It's obvious.
So who are those behind this? Or who is behind the sharing of these goodies to them?
District Assembly's Common Fund.
So who has instructed them to do that?
I have no idea. I'm not in the meeting where instructions were given or otherwise. Please, this is a broad situation. I'm telling you that the President feels compelled to detach himself from this because in public it's obvious. It's obvious that there's an organized process behind one of the aspirants who is the Vice President. It's very obvious. And if the President has felt the need to come out and detach himself from it, I'm saying that it's a good signal.
So to your camp, what does it mean to you?
It means that individual delegates must advise themselves.
But spokesperson for the campaign team of the Vice President, Samuel Uku, has dismissed these allegations, describing them as baseless.
I've stated that the Honorable John Peter Amewu is a minister of the government, and in this government, and supporting the Honorable Alan Chemating. The Honorable Abna Oseasa is a Deputy Minister for Finance at the Ministry of Finance, supporting the Honorable Alan Chemating. You've had members of Parliament openly supporting the Honorable Alan Chemating. So when you say that others supporting Dr. Bawumia is wrong, then that means you're only picking and choosing. Now we'll repeat, if the principle is wrong, then tell me that nobody should support anybody. Let's all become quiet men and women in the party and only watch the process. We are part of the decision.
Well,
I vote. I'm a voter. I'm a delegate. A super delegate because I'm a member of the National Council representing the Eastern region. And I'm also a former national organizer. So with these two voting rights, I can only vote once in one category. Either I choose to vote as a former national organizer or I vote as a member representing the Eastern region on the National Council.
Well, his specific accusation is that, or allegation is that, they were in the OT region and the District Assembly was using the District Common Fund to purchase spray fertilizer for delegates. And then he made an allegation that it is in support of your candidature, and they feel it is an abuse of this. Yes.
I think people should get serious about this. Because I don't think I have it. Else we're chasing things in circles. If you have, if you can prove an allegation of wrongdoing, it's a very serious matter. Remind you the very things that we say to the Ghanaian people and to the public. These are the things that our opponents are going to compile and use against us. Even an internal election, you are telling me that we are using district assembly common fund to purchase fertilizer. I mean, that is a very low point.
Story. For the past 2 months, residents of Princess Town in Ahanta West have been cut off from the other parts of the municipality as the main bridge linking to the main Agona Nkwanta Elubo Road and the district's capital has collapsed. Despite their pleas, there has been no government intervention to rectify the issue. Here's what my colleague Samuel Kojo Race captured.
The impact of the collapsed bridge on the community has been immense. Farmers are seen struggling to transport their produce, carrying them across the bridge to be loaded onto waiting vehicles on the other side. Traders traveling to the capital, Agona Nkwanta, also face significant challenges, having to carry their wares across the damaged bridge before continuing their journey. Auntie Isi is frustrated at government's seeming neglect.
Me say, ya beto abaka budi bilika. Ma beto abe di ama mo so ayi. Mo de ka na se ka bro mo so wonto. Eno na susu ade se bu ya kra nyende. Be ba be ma no be ware ha ya beto akwala ndinya. Ya be abso so nkukun kakai. Mo so mo maye o.
This sentiment is shared by many in the community, including a driver who reveals he has been stranded in the area since the bridge caved in, making less than 100 cedis in sales per day.
Seba hana pa na kada ba be sha. Obey your mobile. Mammy food penfu a why then? Why could you over about why the what you could ski? What you call grey on? What by now so this year? Now that's what they ask you about for the cook about food. No, Sia. Asa, what I know about your home too. Sisi Ejumano, one way you team that for no cast.
Omampin Susan Faho, a community leader at Abase, one of the affected communities, says they almost lost a pregnant woman as a result of the situation.
I had a complaint from my community that a pregnancy woman was about to deliver. And because of the situation of the bridge, the problem was so huge that she nearly died. She nearly died because by the time the car came here and then they crossed the bridge, there were no car here to take her to the hospital. Okay. So in fact, they waited and then called for a car. By the time the car came, the situation was getting worse.
The chief of Tumentu, an affected community, Nana Ezia Ntwa III, is angry at the unresponsiveness of government to this urgent matter.
I mean, I call the Kabian and the Labriche comparison. Rapid response. Because he may come as a community, even a tourist spot like this forest, Capture Point Forest at where Francis, okay, Capture Point for a lucky more first survey. They will remember the only forest of West Africa come up projected into the sea. It accumulated the tourist, the biozone. So why? Okay.
He warns his people will withhold their vote in the upcoming 2024 elections if the bridge is not repaired promptly.
You can say, Yam Ozedevi, I mean, Bayan the Famae, never care by Nesia, no Bamo, Badoma, I want to know your quite better money at Gadna. You can care from now. Baba, Nesia, Jamais, there is no vote. We are not going to vote for them, not out on print.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we will show them the red card. Okay. Your fault, nail, the draft man, ball. A Jimmy and enemy, you, Matthew, you can crib. Kebi Kidio show. Mazama, call my people at Tumentum, but in there. Okay. So let them hear from my voice that this is for warning to them.
The people here are calling on the government to intervene immediately and restore economic life to the area. It is their hope that the authorities take swift action to address this critical issue and bring relief to the people of Princess Town and its environs. From Ahanta West, for Joy News, I am Samuel Kojo Race.
In our next story, management of the Pando Senior High School is worried that the school cannot accommodate the increasing number of students. Headmaster Charles Evans Apreku says the school lacks enough classrooms, accommodation for teachers, dormitories for students, and ICT logistics. Speaking at the local launch of the school's 70th anniversary in Pando, he called for stakeholder collaboration to resolve the infrastructural challenges.
The Pando Senior High School in the Pando municipality of the Volta region was established in 1953. It now has a student population of 3,498. Due to the rapid increment in student population within the last few years, there's an urgent need to increase infrastructure to accommodate students. The management was compelled to introduce the shift system to make use of the inadequate classrooms, while some classes are conducted in the dining hall. Some students who spoke to Joy News lamented that the development affects the smooth running of academic activities.
When we have dining hall section, we have to make it very fast and then make the those having class should come. And then even if class is going on well, and it's time for hall section, class section must be very quick.
I'll plead with the authorities and the head of the state to help us get a new assembly hall for the school because of the population growth of the school.
We need a new boys hostel for the school because as we go, the population keep rising up.
Speaking to the media on the sideline of the local launch of the 70th anniversary of the school, the headmaster, Charles Evans Apreku, asserted that an 18-unit classroom block must be provided to ensure every class has a conducive environment to study.
We are running shift, and I hope that if we get another 18 units classroom block, it will help us ease the tension so far as classroom infrastructure is concerned. We talk of school vehicle bus for excursion for students. For now, we have not been given the government buses that is being distributed. And I want to use this opportunity to appeal for a bus for the school.
Less than half of the 235 teaching and non-teaching staff are housed on the campus due to the unavailability of enough staff bungalows. Another worrying development is the lack of enough computers in the school, though it offers elective information communication technology courses.
Our laboratory, ICT, the student population and those who are doing ICT as a core is very large. If we don't get computers, it means that WASI, for example, we have to travel, as an old school of this nature has to travel to another school before you can write. It's an urgent appeal I'm making to our old students, PTA, and the government to come to our aid.
For the 70th anniversary, the Old Students Association has decided to invest into 3 projects that we refer to as 70th Anniversary Legacy Project. And these projects are the Science Academy of the school, that is the base for the National Science and Maths Quiz, Robotics Center, and the National Cyber Security Center.
The guest speaker for the anniversary launch, Nyatepe Kosi Ayibo, entreated teachers, parents, and the community to play their respective roles to ensure an effective education for the students. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Pando.
Now, staying with the politics, the General Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, NDC, Fifi Fiavikwete, has objected to the New Patriotic Party's claim of turning the corner, citing it as a sign of their lack of remorse over their governance failures. He criticized the 2023 mid-year budget's assertion that the ailing economy had been stabilized, describing it as an attempt by the NPP to look good in the midst of the storm. He spoke to my colleague Evans Mensah while leading a party's delegation courtesy call on the leadership of the Multimedia Group Limited in Accra on Thursday.
We decided as a party to start a series of media visitation. We actually should have done this right from the very beginning when I became General Secretary. But of course, you know, we came in straight with quite a number of activities, administrative things that have really held us up all the way to the election of flag bearer. Soon after that, then we move into the by-elections, and also I would say we feel this is a nice moment to really do what we should have done right from the beginning. Basically, to just establish a relationship, build bridges, define areas where we can work in partnership for the sake of Ghana, not necessarily for the sake of NDC at all, but for the sake of Ghana. We believe we all have the same vision for the country, to see a country that becomes great and strong. And we believe the media plays a key role in making sure that happens. And there are areas where we can improve each other, to become more tolerant, to be able to hone down on issues that we think are very important for the country. Generally, to create an atmosphere where the media will be allowed to do its job well, and we also in the political space.
Yawaso was gone, and I think 15 other constituencies are still outstanding in your parliamentary primary. So what's the update on that?
I would say that they are the next ones we are looking at. We actually have agreed already to do it in two separate phases. We'll be doing what we call the the central zone. In that central zone, we'll have Eastern region, Ashanti region, and Ahafo region, those three. And we're looking at making sure we close those ones by the end of August this month. And then we'll be left with what I call the coastal, or let's call it the southern zone. That'll be Greater Accra, Central Region, Western Region, and I think Western North. So that would be done latest by the end of September. So effectively, with that, they would have completed all the outstanding ones. So we are ready to roll with the first one, which is the central zone.
Let's talk sports now. And Ghana Premier League champions Mediama have been given a financial boost ahead of their CAF Champions League campaign later this year, courtesy a 1 million cedi gift by President Akufo-Addo. The president, who made the pledge to the team when they called on him at the Jubilee House, also charged them to make Ghana proud at the Continental Showpiece when it begins in September.
And I have to begin by, first of all, congratulating you, the captain and the members of the team, for this historic achievement. The 47 years since the cup was last won by a team from the Western region. This is great. You've done a great job. Congratulations. Because people who win the league, you have to have some people there. Absolutely. But I want to congratulate you very much. And you're getting the congratulations from somebody who's a fanatic of Asante Kosoko. So you know that it's genuine, my congratulations. Well done. And a team that was born in Duka's hometown, Dompen, that's an excellent thing. Thank you very much for coming. I think that the Deputy Minister of Sports is here to assure you that whatever we can do to help in the continental engagements that you're going to be involved in this year, we'll do our best to assist, to make sure that you have a successful tilt. And then I understand that you are in fact being invited to be in Washington in the month of October for the Ghana Week. That you've been invited to go and play Washington, D.C. Football Club. Oh, wow. That's going to be a big event. So I wish you the best of luck for that. But I'm sure that when the time gets near, the government people will also come in and make sure that things go well for you there. But thank you very much for coming. I'm honored by you coming to present this cup to me. And I want to congratulate the playing body once again for this historic achievement. You've done well. It's good for the Ghana football and for the league that there's diversity in the people who come through. We shouldn't have this. For years it was a duopoly in Ghana, Kotoko or Hearts. And then when Adriana broke through a bit, but it's good. We have yet somebody else now. And we'll all remember the name Mediama Football Club. It's all been ball check. I forgot. I have to make a pledge of support. Yes, don't go to one and name it and then Hearts too. Yes, that I will try and provide a million CDs to help you.
Well, that will be it for the news. But do stay with us. Up next, we get into the news review. We'll be right back.